I got my citizenship a month before my child has been born overseas. Does he qualify to get citizenship by birth? Probably not. I mean, maybe Bekmont, I gotta review the facts of your case. I actually just had if you go on YouTube, if you go to my community page, I showed a picture where I described a factual scenario that's kind of similar to yours. It may be possible, but it depends on how long you lived in the United States, how old you were, and a lot of different factors. So just schedule a consultation so we can review the facts of your case. Email me at info@jqqlaw.com. There are fees for consultations, but email me and say you want a consultation, see if your child has citizenship, and we can do a video consult and I can review your documents and discuss that. But if you go to my page on YouTube where you're at right now, where I should post pictures and stuff on my account, my community page, you'll see an example I posted today of a person who it's a very interesting case. So this person was actually born overseas in East Asia. The father was a U.S. citizen, became a naturalized U.S. citizen, lived here for 20 years, then went back to home country, got married, and had a kid, and then raised the kid there, and then passed away a few years later when the child was a teenager, unfortunately. Now the father got an attorney, tried to get citizenship for the child, and the attorney filed the wrong paperwork. He filed what's called an N-600K, which was the wrong paperwork for that. So that got denied just because of the wrong paperwork. And so they let it go, not realizing there was an error by the attorney. And then the father passed away, unfortunately. He doesn't leave many documents for us to use. And the daughter is in the home country, gets a student visa, comes here. Unfortunately, makes some errors, typos on an application for OPT, which leads to a denial. OPT is a work permit you get after studying here. So she immediately had to leave the United States. And so she contacted my office. I teach at the school she was at. So we looked at it and I said, well, there's no fixing this. However, you're a U.S. citizen. Your dad lived here for like 20 years. The problem was we didn't have any paperwork to show it. So if the father lived in the United States for 5 years and was a U.S. citizen, 2 or 3 of those years after the age of 14, the child automatically becomes a citizen. So we set outside many months gathering documents for USCIS, property records, and in the state the father lived in. We got all together. She went to an embassy. They reviewed all this, and it was really obvious that her father was a citizen, lived in the United States more than 5 years, all of it as an adult. And she got a passport, 48 hours ago. And so it changed her life. This is an adult going to graduate school. All of a sudden realized they've been a U.S. citizen this whole time. It's like a miracle. It's a really happy story. So I always like to share that kind of stuff. But that's why I got to review her documents, see what's going on. I hope you enjoyed this educational video. We have a second channel with much more information as well at JQK Immigration Clips. Please check that out. Also, you'll find our social media site has a lot more videos, images, and information about the U.S. immigration process. Please check those out on the various social media websites.